Hey, how's it going, YouTube and Rumble and Facebook? So update with everything, guys. I've gone onto other platforms to have a better reach because I know I'm quite suppressed. My one video got over 200 views, and then the next one like 8. So it's I know I'm not very much liked on the algorithms, but it's because I'm God's given me a voice to speak and a tongue to move and to reach those that are lost and confused and to help feed the flock. And so that's what I'm trying to do, and just trying to listen and hear what he has me to do. I was gonna honestly just talk about how your sin stinks, but and give out the symbolism for that because I thought it looked cool. But God kind of gave me this one. It's important right now. And so, what is the marriage supper of the Lamb? And that's the one we're going to dive into today. So keep a pencil ready. I'll do the best I can to kind of stay on track. To kind of show you guys what God has shown me. Remember, God's speaking, He's teaching. I'm not. I'm just a student, diligently taking notes. I remember in my testimony that I couldn't even read the Bible before, and now I can't stop. I begged for the truth for Him to teach me. So let's dive into this.
For God so loved this world, He gave His only Son.
So Revelations 19. Now keep in mind, Revelations is symbolic. It says Revelations 1:1, and in the Greek and the King James version, all the others don't really say it. That it's that the Lord, the angel of the Lord signified it to John. Signified is to show by signs. So not all of it's literal. First off, and so. Yeah, just to give you an idea. So Revelations 19:9, and He saith unto me, right, blessed are they that which are called into the marriage supper of the Lamb. And He saith unto me, these things are true sayings of God. So I was taught this literally just earlier this past week. So what is that? What is the marriage supper of the Lamb? Well, I'm going to build the foundation first. So let's start in Matthew, parable of the banquet. So marriage supper of the Lamb sounds like a feast, right? A party. So the parable of the banquet in Matthew 22. We're going to do 1 through 14. First off, so and Jesus and spoke to them again, saying in parables, and said that the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king, which made marriage for a son, and he has set forth servants to call them that which are bidden into the wedding, and they would not come. Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come into the marriage. But they made light of it, and they went their ways. One to his farm, the other to his merchandise, and the other remnant took his servants and treated them spitefully and slew them, killed them. But when the king heard thereof, he was wroth, and he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city. And then he said to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which were bidden not were not worthy. Go ye forward to the highways, and as many as you shall find, bid the marriage. So the servants went out to the highways, gathered together as many as they could find, both good and bad, and the wedding was furnished with guests. And when the king came to see his guests, he saw there was a man which had not a wedding garment. What's going on there? And said to him, friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he said he was speechless. And then said the king to the servant, bind him hand and foot, take him away, and cast him into outer darkness, where there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. For as many are called, and few are chosen. Elect, right? Sealed, right? And so, wow, good visual, right? It gives you a good picture. And so let's move on. So Matthew 25, 1 through 13, parable of the 10 virgins. Now, what's the wedding garment? I'll show you. So here, at the time of the kingdom of heaven, it will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps out to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 3 were wise. The foolish ones took the lamps but did not take along extra oil. But the wise ones took oil in their flasks with their lamps. And when the bridegroom was delayed, they all came drowsy and fell asleep. At midnight, the cry rang out, 'Here is the bridegroom. Come out, meet him.' But then all the virgins woke up, trimmed their lamps. And the foolish ones said to the wise, 'Give us some of your oil. Our lamps are going out.' They have no light. 'No,' said the wise ones, 'or there might not be enough for both of us and you. Instead, you should go to those who sell oil and buy some for yourselves.'" Can't buy faith, right? And so, but they were on their way to buy it, and the bridegroom arrived. Those who were ready went in with him in the wedding banquet, and the door was shut. Lost your chance. Later, the virgins arrived and said, "Lord, Lord, open the door for us." But he replied, "Truly I tell you, I do not know you. Therefore keep watch, because you don't know the day or the hour." Okay? So you've got 5 that are real, true Christians, dressed like Christians, and have oil in their lamps and have the light. And there's 5 that don't. They're just plain Christian. They play dress up. They look like, outwardly like they're Christians, but they're not on the inside. They have no oil. They have no light. They just look like they are. And so that gives you an idea of what this entails. Many are called, few are actually chosen. And so if you're not clothed, right? If you're not clothed, what are you? Not clothed with Jesus Christ, you're naked. You're naked. You don't have any clothes. And so you have no wedding garment. And so that's part of the reason. So you got to be washed, clean of your sins. If Jesus doesn't wash you, as he says to Peter and John in the book of John, "If I don't wash you, you'll have no part with me." Oh my goodness! Don't wash just my feet. Wash my hands and my head. is what he said. Do you get it? It's not many people see it, but that's what this means. Okay, you have to be born again. You must be, as Jesus said. And then you're in marriage, and so there's you got washed. So I didn't tell you what the marriage feast yet was. So again, we're going back to 19:9. He said to me, blessed are they that are which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. And he said to me, these are true sayings of God. So the marriage supper of the Lamb. What is that? What is that? Stay tuned. And I want to keep you in mind. Remember, he says again, "I sent you servants, saying, Tell them which are bidden, behold, I prepared the dinner. My oxen, my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come unto the marriage." Ezekiel 39:17 through 23. "And thou, son of man, thus says the Lord God, speak unto every feathered fowl, and to every beast of the field, assemble yourselves, and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, that I do a sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty." Now, what is that? Mighty. That looks interesting. Let's peel this back a little bit. Let's look in the Hebrew. What is that? And here. Go Baurum. Let's see what this says. Gabor. Whoa. Wow. Gabor. Where have we heard this before? No. I'm going to see if I can find the right one. If it has it here, just sticking out. I guess it's not here. I'll have to show you guys that. Shall eat the mighty. Here's like, interesting. What does that even mean? Well, if I look into Isaiah, say Isaiah 9, I think is what it was. Let me look here. Bear with me. Sorry, my computer's just acting out. Isaiah 9:6. Unto us a child is born, is given us into us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder. His name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. So, what is this? Gabor. Same exact word. Okay? So I just gave you guys something here. Okay? You shall eat the flesh of the Gabor, and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, and the rams and the lambs, and the goats and the bullocks, and all of them the fatlings of Bashan. You shall eat the fat until you be full, and drink the blood till you be drunken, of all my sacrifice that I have sacrificed for you. And you shall be filled at my table with the horses and chariots, and the mighty men, and all the men of war, saith God. If you look at that, is the next one, Israel. Let Israel be restored. Okay? And so, and I will set my glory among the heathen, which means Gentiles, actually in Hebrew, I can show you, shall see my judgment and that I have executed in my hand I had laid upon them. So that the house of Israel know that I am the Lord their God from that day and forward. And the heathen shall know, the Gentiles, that Israel went into the captivity for their iniquity because of their trespass against me. Therefore I hid my face from them, and gave them to the hand of the enemies, so that fell they all by the sword. According to their uncleanliness, and according to their transgressions, I have done unto them. And I hid my face from them. So what does Jesus say? You guys remember this? Yeah, I'll show you. So what does Jesus say? I'll give you guys a pretty cool treat. God's actually teaching me too while we're doing this. Here we go. The speech that scared away all the fake believers that couldn't quite wrap their heads around this. They didn't understand because they didn't have eyes to see. They didn't have ears to hear. And so the Jews therefore strove among themselves, how can this man give us flesh to eat? And Jesus said, I'm very, very say to you, except you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you will have no life in you. Whosoever eateth my flesh and drink my blood hath eternal life, and I will raise him up in the last day. My flesh is meat indeed, and my blood is drink indeed. That he that may eateth my flesh, drink my blood, dwelleth in me, and I in him. As the living Father hath sent me, I live in the Father, so that he that eateth me, even he shall live by me. This is the bread which came down from heaven. Not as your fathers did eat manna, they are dead. He that eateth of this bread shall live forever. Do you understand? You should. I can go back real slow if you want me to. So, let's see here. So he made this great feast, and I, before the sermon, say, tell them which are bidden, behold, I prepare my dinner. And Matthew 22:4. My oxen, my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready unto the marriage. He says in Ezekiel, he says, and thou son of man, this is thus saith the Adonai Yahweh, is actually what it says there. Speak unto every feathered fowl, every beast of the field, assemble yourselves and come, gather yourselves on every side to my sacrifice, which I sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel. You may eat flesh and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty. Again, what is that? Well, I showed you. Kabawim, the mighty, the Gabor, the Almighty, the strong, and will be the government upon his shoulder, and he shall be called, whose name is Wonderful Counselor, Mighty, the God, Mighty, Gabor, same word. See it? Yep, same word. Yep, same word. There you guys go, 1368. 1368. So it is in the Bible. You're like, where is this? Where can I find this in the Old Testament? I just showed you. Isaiah and Ezekiel. There you go. Here's my present to you. Write that down. Actually, I should have written it down up there. But I guess, you know what? I will do that right now. Let's do it right now. Okay. This relates to Isaiah 9. Isaiah 9:6. Okay. There we have it. Write that down. Write that down. This is bread. This is he's fed me this. He's taught me this. I'm feeding it to you. And I always kind of joke around that I'm the starving. I am the most famished sheep out there. Feed me, God. I'm starving. Feed me the word like you did Ezekiel. And guess what? He will. He will feed you. He'll joyfully feed you. He'll joyfully teach you if you ask for teaching. And you know, hold on, because you're going to learn a lot more than you thought you could. And like I said, I couldn't even read the Bible before. So now you understand, okay? Do you understand what that was for? And it's a wedding feast, okay? And and then he says in Zechariah 9:11, as for thee also, by the blood of my covenant I have set forth thy prisoners out of the pit when there is no water. The blood of thy covenant. So this is a blood covenant, okay? So you guys we're all prisoners. And you can see that if it says here, right below, you see the Lord will save his people. So it keeps going on. And then, you know, the wedding tradition. So in the first century, so what is Jesus doing? He said here, you know, this is a blood covenant, drink my blood, right? So in the first century, when a young Jewish man, this is Jewish vows, wedding vows, went to his family, selected an appropriate wife for him, the young man and his father would meet the young woman and her father to negotiate the bride price, the figurative cost of replacing a daughter. Whoa, hold on. What is that? How does that come about? Right? Kind of cool. Well, replacing a daughter. Pause. Isaiah 62. For Zion's sake will I not hold thy peace. For Jerusalem's sake I will not rest until righteousness thereof go forth as brightness, and salvation thereof in a lamp that burneth. The Gentiles shall see the righteousness, and all the king's glory, and thou shalt be called by a new name, which the mouth of the Lord shall name. Thou shalt also be crowned of glory in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh, and a royal diadem in the hand of thy God, Elohim. For thou shalt no longer be termed forsaken, neither shall the land any more be termed desolate. For thou shalt be called Hezibah, and the land Beulah. For the Lord delighteth in you, in thee, and the land shall be married. For as a young man marrieth the virgin, so shall the sons marry thee. And as the bridegroom rejoice over the bride, so shall God rejoice over thee. They're replacing a daughter. The price was usually very high. He paid a very high price. He came down for us, for you, for me, because we couldn't do it ourselves. And I'm saying all this during Friday, Good Friday. Couldn't have chosen a better day. Now, when the negotiations were complete, the custom for the young man's father to pour a cup of wine in hand and hand it to his son. And his son would turn to the young woman, lift the cup and hold it out to her, saying, "This is the new cup, and this cup is a new covenant in my blood, which I offer to you. In other words, I love you, and I give you my life. Will you marry me?" The young woman had a choice. She could take the cup and return it and say no, or she could answer without saying a word. By drinking the cup is her way of saying, "I accept your offer, and I give you my life in response." So 26 to 29. And they were eating. They were all eating, and Jesus took bread, blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take and eat, this is my body." And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye all of it, for this is the blood of the New Testament, my covenant, which is shed for many for the remissions of sins. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until the day that I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." And they drank. Do you understand? Blessed are they which are called unto the marriage supper of the Lamb. I have set my glory among the heathen, the Gentiles, and the Gentiles shall see my judgment that I have executed in my hand, which I laid upon them. So the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their God. From that day and forward, and the heathen shall know the house of Israel in the captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me, and I hid my face from them. Assemble yourselves and come. Gather yourselves every side to my sacrifice, which I sacrifice for you, even a great sacrifice upon the mountains of Israel, that you may eat flesh and drink blood. You shall eat the flesh of the mighty, the Almighty, and drink the blood of the princes of the earth, of rams, of lambs, and of goats and bullocks, all of them fatlings in Bashan. Tell them which are bidden, behold, I prepared my dinner. My oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all the things are ready. Come unto the marriage. Gibor, the mighty. For us a child is born, unto us a son given. Unto us will be given the government upon his shoulder. He shall be called his name, Wonderful Counselor, the mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. You may eat the flesh of the Gibor, the mighty, and drink the blood of the princes. He will be called his name, Wonderful Counselor, God Mighty, Gibor, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Whosoever eat my flesh, Jesus says, and drink my blood, and hath eternal life, and I will raise him up in the last day. My flesh is meat indeed, my blood is drink indeed. He that eateth my flesh and drink my blood, that dwelleth in me, and I in him, and the living Father hath sent me, and I live by the Father, so that he that eateth me shall live by me. This is the bread which came down from heaven. Now as your fathers ate manna, which are dead, he that eateth of this bread shall live forever. The one young woman had a choice. She should take the cup and return it and say no, or she could answer us without saying a word by drinking, saying, I accept. I give you my life. And they did eat. And verily I say to you that as they were eating, Jesus took bread, blessed it, broke it, and gave it to the disciples, saying, Take, eat, but this is my body. And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, Drink ye all of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which I shed for the many, the remissions of sins. And then you will be crowned of glory. You will be crowned of glory in the hand of the Lord, and the royal diadem in the hand of God. You will no longer be termed forsaken, neither shall the land be called desolate, for you shall be called Hezbon and Beulah. For Yahweh delights in you, and the land shall be married. God will rejoice over thee. For whom hath believed our report? To whom is the arm of the Lord, Yahweh, been revealed? For he grew up among him as a tender plant, before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of the dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness that should see him. There is no beauty that we should desire him. He is despised, rejected of men, a man of sorrows, acquainted with grief. And we hide it as it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yet we esteemed him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of peace was upon him, and by his stripes we're all healed. All we like sheep have gone astray, and we have turned every one on his own way. The Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted. He opened not his mouth. He is brought to as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before the shearers of the dumb. So he opened not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment. And who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off in the land of the living. For the transgressions of my people was he stricken. He was given, and he made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, because he has done no violence, neither has he done any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him, and he hath put him to grief, and thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin. He shall see his seed, he shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of Yahweh shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall the righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Therefore I divide the portion among the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death. He has been numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many. He made intercession for the transgressors. We have all transgressed. Will you accept the cup? Will you be washed of your sin, given a new heart, eyes to see, ears to hear? His Spirit, and will you drink? Will you eat the bread? Will you drink the blood? Do you accept? Time's getting short. But all right, guys. Sorry, I got a little emotional there at the end. But I didn't know this stuff either. As I'm teaching you, I'm learning. Actually, this right there when I was reading it, it was coming live to me too. So I'm learning. He's teaching me, and I'm just a student, showing you the what I'm being taught. If you can't follow on your own, that's why I say ask. Ask him to teach you. Ask him to wash you. Confess your sin to God. Ask him to fix you. Say you don't want to be this way anymore. Only he can give you a new heart. It says circumcise your heart in the Old Testament. I'd like to see you try. Only he can circumcise your heart, as he says in Deuteronomy. I will circumcise your heart. But all right, guys, stay tuned for the next one. And like, comment, share, subscribe. I know I'm being suppressed, but I will send you guys as many as I can. Stay tuned. Until next time. All right, see you guys. Hope you have a great weekend. Great weekend. See you. Bye.